Live from the City of Angels on Sunday night, you are watching MMT's Sunday Evening Spectacular massive show tonight. We're going to talk about challengers. Did this film bomb at 15 million? We'll go over the points and let you debate it in the comments. Also here tonight, you need to make me AMC CEO. I'll explain my platform, and yes, you'll vote for me, and I'll get paid a lot less than Adam Aaron. Also, Jerry Seinfeld. He says movies are over. Is he right? Also, Deadpool and Wolverine. No homework. Hooray. We'll discuss. And our MMT, Shill of the Century. Our first ever, not just Shill of the Week, but our Shill of the Century. Essentially, he is entering the Shill Hall of Fame, but we start with challengers, $15 million. And at first, you're going to say, that's not great. But I'm going to tell you that it is solid and it is plenty good enough given what's going on in this theatrical environment. So when you ask the question, did challengers bomb, as some are saying this is not do well at 15 million, I say hell no. And here's why. Let's go straight to really an important topic to discuss: the key involvement of Zendaya here. You go to the Deadline article and you talk about the percentage of people that went to see this film for Zendaya. 55%. And you're telling me we don't have movie stars these days? You're going to tell me that there aren't people out there that Hollywood employs that the regular public is drawn to? Well, she clearly is. Because if you put someone else in this movie, other than Sydney Sweeney, and even then it's going to be less, I really believe, because obviously the film's not going to work with Sydney Sweeney. I mean, we can debate Zendaya upside, downside, all over the place, but I can promise you this, other than the fact that there's no actress in Hollywood who has a perpetual frown as much as Zendaya, that's the one thing I'll give you. But she drew this audience of 15 million, and you compare it to, let's go to Don't Worry, Darling, right? So Don't Worry, Darling, I think is very fair. You talk about Harry Styles, right? A pop icon. You got Florence Pugh. You really have two big stars. Certainly Pugh's up and coming, right? I think it's fair to say that for the Generation Z, for the young kids, she's a big deal. So you got two in that film. That's why that film got a little bit higher on its debut. When you look at that number, it was 19 and change. So we're just a little bit over where we were here. I think one of the things that affected this film this weekend, let's talk about it. And someone came in the comment, John was like right in here really early talking about the NFL draft. The NFL draft was huge. I think it's the biggest, highest rated draft in many years. You had 6 quarterbacks in the first round. If you don't follow sports, it's fine. I'm just going to tell you that you had something else taking attention away and something you didn't really think about, because you look at challenges like, oh, there's nothing else out this weekend, it'll do well. The draft did have a little bit of effect here. I think that's absolutely fair to say. But when we look at a movie like Don't Worry, Darling, you're looking at almost the same inline opening. Now, this opened, obviously, remember, that one was back in October, early October, late September of 2022, was it? My God, the years fly by. And when you look at that film, it went on to do a 2.3 multiple, which means the challengers would be about 35 million when all is said and done, just stateside. That's fine, because here's the problem that we have going on right now, is that for films like Challengers, you're asking the average person at home who's addicted to Netflix and the Hulu and the Amazon Prime. And by the way, this is Amazon/MGM on this. Thank goodness they gave it to us theatrically. You need to see this film. I love this film. You need to see it theatrically for one reason. If it's just that, it is the Reznor-Ross score. This thing is thumping and bumping. This is a club. When you go in there, you're like, damn, this is why they invented Dolby Cinema. You got to see this film theatrically. But if you didn't have me telling you that, you'd say this is a tennis drama, sort of some comedic elements. And you look at it and you're like, I can just wait for it to show up on Prime because you know it'll be there. Here's what needs to happen. And this is the number one thing that absolutely must be drilled in as new AMC CEO. And trust me, I do a better job than that man with almost 2 feet in the grave, Adam Aaron. I would go immediately to each studio in Hollywood and I would say, we are doing a 40 45-day theatrical exclusive window, and that starts today. If you don't agree with that, your films are not going to be shown at AMC. Hell, I'll take Regal's job. I'll kill it either way. Whichever chain decides to go with me, they're going to get a 45-day window. I'll push 60, but I'll definitely guarantee 45. Why is that important? Because films like Challengers cannot be in a situation where the people at home, when the people that are like not even that motivated to go, know that it's going to be home in 17 days, 21 days. All I got to wait is a few weeks. No, you're going to wait 6 weeks. Hopefully, if we can push it, we'll go 2 months. It used to be 90. I'm cutting 30 off here. In my generosity, I'm cutting it in half. But no more of this 17-day bullshit. No more of it. It's 45 days across the board. Every studio you're going to play, guess what's going to happen? These things will turn around. Challengers will do better over the long run. Look at anyone but you. You talk about a film that really did not have a great debut. 6 million. Challengers is already, 9 million over that, right? But I will admit, that was during the Christmas corridor, which really helped that film. Word of mouth helped that film. Also, theatrical exclusivity helped that film as it went over 200 million worldwide. Challengers is not going to go 200 million worldwide. Guaranteed. We know that. It's different when you have a film like Anyone But You, which certainly caught the zeitgeist. Challengers didn't do that. It still has time. I think word of mouth here, even that B+ cinema score. Sorry, man. When you watch Challengers, you're watching cinema. That's what you're watching. And I hope that more people go to see this movie, but to paint it as a disappointment when you look at this landscape, 15 million for a film that a lot of people, the majority of people view as something they can wait to watch on their ass on the couch. That's solid. We need to protect these films, though, and you need to make me AMC CEO. Adam Aaron gets paid 23 million? It's insane. It's that kind of salary for a guy, and you ever listen to him talk? Have you ever had the displeasure of having to listen to him intro a film as like, I'm the CEO of AMC, and I'm so happy you're here to watch our early access, and you're like, holy shit, who is this guy? Let me tell you who he is. It's typical. All these CEOs just come in from another company. They barely even know their shit. All they know is how to, quote, run a company. We don't even know if Adam Aaron loves movies. He puts a face on. He's not that impressive. When he talks, it's like, holy shit, bro, speed it up. You're boring. Stop. This intro needs to be 10 seconds. You're already in a minute. You're not a good talker. And he's getting paid $25.4 million. Oh, I'm sorry. It's only $16.5 million. When you subtract that, so what is that? Is that 9? If that's what I'm reading this right. Oh, I'll do the job for 900,000. 1/10, if this is equate to 9, I'm just quickly doing the math. Someone help me. I will do it for 900K. And here's the thing. I'll be worth 50 times that because I'm going to go in and say, here's what's going to happen. You're going to give me 45 days. Caramel, welcome to the channel. Realistically, cinemas are not going to give a film 60 days nobody's going to see. No. That's not, you're missing the point. It's about, even if the film bombs, you're still going to wait 60 days to watch it at home. It's not about, it's going to be in theaters for 60 days, right? It's just the amount of time you're going to have to wait on your ass at home to get it to arrive streaming to you if you're not using a BitTorrent site. Don't do that shit. Support films. I know you guys hate Hollywood, some of you. Just listen. Films that are solid that I recommend, go support. The films that suck, like Civil War, let them bomb, BitTorrent the shit out of them. I don't care, but not Challengers, okay? So, yeah, we're talking about 60 days not to be in theaters because that's rare, right? I mean, you look at a Top Gun Maverick, 120 days in theaters. You wonder why that film did so well. It's because of the fact that you couldn't get it at home immediately. You had to wait for that film. Coach sipping Jamba Juice out of a straw. Challengers would have done better. They had the right person in Zendaya's role, Sydney Sweeney. I understand what you're saying. You might like the film more. I, in this case, think Zendaya is fine for this. Is it going to be a Best Actress performance? No. Someone asked me, where do you see this film when it comes to awards later this year? I think certainly you go with that score. Reznor Ross has to be in for score because it's so heavy in this film. It's so contrasting to what you expect out of the score. And for those reasons, you must put it as one of your 5. I don't care what else comes out this year. There's no way this is not one of the 5. And then beyond that, you could look at things like director. That's going to be harder. Certainly Best Picture is going to be very difficult. The earlier in the year releases like Challenger is going to be hard. I still think Zendaya does a good job here. Listen, her character is not likable, right? Because ultimately, she's cheating on her husband. She's playing both sides, and none of the characters are all that redeemable aside from Mike Faist. I think he's probably the least of the offensive of the 3. So it's not easy to root for people in this film, but that's not our job as an audience necessarily to root for somebody. Sure, of course, traditionally that is the role of the protagonist. We're like, let's root for this person as they face this massive obstacle in their life. I don't need that, right? I don't mind a film that presents deeply flawed people and we still have to find some way to access them and relate to them, and that's what this film does. I don't know why everybody hates it. So many people just don't like Zendaya. I think that's unfair. Do I think that she wears a frown too much? Like I said, in this film, how many times? Right? I mean, it makes Zendaya face. That's just what she does, right? It's just she has almost like a built-in frown on her face, and she's not the most joyful person. Go back and look. I would assume that she's nicer than she is on screen, has a better disposition. I told you guys I did that scene, big Hollywood actor on Euphoria, and Zendaya comes, it's like 12:30. Zendaya comes walking up along with what's his ass who created the show, and they're sitting there and they're trying to figure out, by the way, I almost was selected to be the featured detective, but instead I'm just cop number 10 pounding on a door. Either way, I think I nailed the role. But Zendaya comes walking up, not short. She's like about 5'9", very thin. And I don't know if she had a frown on at that moment. It's very hard. It was dark. But listen, she can act. She's not uncomfortable in front of the camera. Whether you like her or not, that's one thing. Whether you think she's an accomplished thespian, that's another. And certainly people are going to have their favorites and people you naturally just don't like or whatever that may be. Certainly I have plenty of those. But it is what it is. I don't worry about those things. I bet Zendaya doesn't either. She has more success than she'll ever need in this lifetime, and this is certainly not a failure for her. I just pointed out she was the reason this film even got to $15 million. You put some random person in this film, some random actress, not Sweeney, just someone that's barely known, you're looking at, if it's even theatrical, $2.5 million. You're looking at like a Boy Kills World opening, $841 per screen. Like, yikes. Like, terrible. Okay, we're going to come back to this, but I want to keep progressing throughout the evening. Ton of stuff to talk about. Sunday night show. I typically get to all the things during the week because now we're just doing the Sunday night show and occasionally a reaction stream midweek. Like this week, we'll do Fall Guy on Wednesday, those early access screenings at AMC and Regal. I'm really looking forward to that. I know what that film is, right? I'm very aware of what I'm getting out of a David Leitch, Fall Guy, blunt Gosling film, and I think it's going to work for me. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Let's talk about Jerry Seinfeld because it really couples in here nicely with the whole situation with movies and their losing significance. I mean, it's fair to say, and I think when Seinfeld said this, if you guys missed this during the week, Seinfeld in an interview with GQ said that movies are essentially over. The movie business is over is his exact quote. Now, let's walk through what he has to say, and then we'll debate it a bit in the comments. Okay, by the way, he's directing the Pop-Tart story that is on Netflix coming up here on the 3rd, not theatrical. So, of course, he's going to bash theatrical. But here's what he has to say. He says, the movie business is over. All right? Film doesn't occupy the pinnacle of social cultural significance it once did. That's fair. I mean, here it does. I think that's the beauty of MMT. It's all we talk about. I'm not sitting on here talking about a series. I'm not talking about a streaming movie. I'm talking about theatrical films. That's it. The way it was when I was a kid, Siskel and Ebert, that's what we know. That's what we do. So when a movie came out, if it was good, we all went to see it, right? Because remember, before we had the atomization of society, there was just the film and there was TV and there was like three channels. Then you had Fox join in the late 80s. You didn't have, and cable wasn't even everywhere. So there weren't that many options. So when a movie came out, to Seinfeld's point, everyone was talking about it. Now you are fighting tooth and nail to even get someone to pay attention to your film opening weekend. It's much harder to cut through the clutter, to get through that noise, and to get you aware of the film, and then to motivate you to see it. That's why, going back to challengers of 15 million, success. I mean, even if this film does 35 million, first of all, we're blessed that Amazon gave it to us in theaters. Second of all, that's solid for where we are. It'll go higher if we get those longer windows. That's the key. So we quoted lines and scenes we like for movies we saw. Now we're walking through a fire hose of water, trying to see. Depression, malaise, I would say confusion's what's going on in Hollywood. Disorientation replaced the movie business. Everyone I know in show business every day is going, what's going on? How do you do this? What are we supposed to do now? And to his point, I think it's very fair to say that Hollywood has a serious lack of talent in creative positions. We have a ton of people in positions. Go back to Adam Aaron. I just hammered that guy. Needs to get out of there. He does just literally. Dude, you've made your millions/billions of dollars in this business being a CEO at various companies. Get out of the way. Let someone come in who is energetic, semi-young, and will get this shit done and loves movies. He just loves money. He talks about loving movies, and that's the problem in Hollywood. We have a bunch of people in positions at studios who aren't true aficionados of film. They don't love Hollywood. They love money. They don't really have good creative ideas. They don't know what works. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, people attack me right and left for all kinds of wild things, but the one thing they don't is my ability to see the reality of the situation in whatever the film is in front of me. If you look at my evaluations going back over a decade, they're typically dead on. Even if you don't agree, what I have to say has merit. And unfortunately, in this town, we have a bunch of people who don't really know anything. They have no education. They don't have good taste. How often do we talk about the importance of just having good taste? It's not just something that you are given. You have to possess it. You can't even create it. That's why when I watch some of these films and people come out of it and say, this is like a great film or is this hilarious, I go, you don't have good taste. I mean, legitimately, you don't know what you're talking about because you're not cultured, you're not educated, and frankly, you just don't really align with what works and what doesn't. Why are we to assume that everybody has good taste? I would suggest to you the majority of people don't have good taste. Read tweets. You go, oh my God, especially this younger generation. Holy shit, this Gen Z, they don't even know what constitutes quality. They just think it's got an A24 label, so it's the next best thing. Yeah, A24 makes some really solid films, and I generally like the majority of them, but that does not mean because it has an A24 label attached to it, the film is great, but that's how we operate now. These kids are just like, label, oh, it's got to be great, it's A24. Hell no. The film stands on its own. So Jerry Seinfeld's right in some respect for sure when he says that Hollywood is in trouble when it comes to film. Hollywood will always exist. There's a lot of stuff going around now talking about, well, Hollywood could cease to exist. It's going down. First of all, it's going to get propped up by cash. You look at a BlackRock. You talk about the people who run the show behind the scenes. It's never going to run out of money. You can't bankrupt Disney. That's what I laugh about all these woke, anti-woke guys on YouTube. We're making a difference. Oh, really? Then why do they continue cranking out woke stuff? Because it's being funded by somebody. They don't even care if they lose money. It's about presenting an idea to society and drilling that home. They don't care if you don't like it. They're going to keep giving it to you, and that's another problem with Hollywood. And that's what Seinfeld's talking about. These executives don't know what they're doing, and they're being told, we've got to keep pushing this agenda. F that. We don't need an agenda. We need quality films. We need people that are talented in positions. We cannot have people in a position of power who are there to check a box. It can't happen. We can't do it. Can you imagine? Go back to the draft. We talked about this, John, with a comment right off the bat about the NFL draft this weekend, 6 quarterbacks taken. The reason these quarterbacks were taken is they're talented. They weren't taken. No one took Jaden Daniels at number 2 because he's black. They took Jaden Daniels because he was a winner at LSU and he flourished when he transferred from ASU. I know my draft. They didn't choose him because he's black. We're not going to choose our talent because of the color of their skin. We're not going to hire a writer because they're black or they're white. We're going to hire the writer who writes the best. This isn't hard. Can you imagine if we went into sports and started doing the shit they do in Hollywood? Yes, this is, quote, anti-woke, what I'm doing right now. No, it would never happen. No draft would ever be conducted in the NFL where they're like, okay, you know what? Of all the players available, I need a white guy here at number 12, so I'm going to go with the best available white guy. I'm going to go with the best available player. Why Hollywood? Are you not doing the same thing? You go for talent. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what hardships you went through. I don't give a shit. You bring your talent to the table and you'll show me. That's it. That's what we need. I can't believe this isn't hard. Why do people have a problem with understanding this shit? Hollywood is so weak with their virtue signaling bullshit, and this isn't even an anti-woke brigade. Yes, it's turned into that, but I'm right. Everything I'm saying is dead on, and that's the problem with this town. A bunch of wuss-ass people in creative positions that are trying to fill boxes and check off and feel good about themselves and virtue signal, and you're all a bunch of losers. Ultimately, you perform in this world based on your talent and your merit and what you bring to the table. Rack me. Over. Done. I should just end the stream. That's the end. It's over. It's 100% done. All right. Yes, exactly. Don't be afraid to make a comedy that pisses people off. Once you realize that the people that get pissed off have no true power unless you give them the power, then you win. And unfortunately, we live now in a society where a bunch of whiners, let's just appease these people. Let's not, I apologize. Not going to happen here. I'm not apologizing. F that shit. You're not going to control me, and you're not going to tell me what I can say and what I can't say. Hollywood needs to go back to that. Not like I say so many times, here it comes. Get ready, everybody. Weber's going to get canceled. No, he's not. When you extract one element from the piece of shit rapist Harvey Weinstein, he was absolutely ruthless when it came to getting directors under control. And Hollywood needs to get back to that kind of fear that you can't just do whatever you want. We need people, though, in positions like me who know what constitutes good and say, that's bad, get it out of here. Cut this scene, do this. Speaking of that, you guys ready? A24. A24 is... Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with A24 going back to the beginning of their existence in 2011, 2012, 2013. You go back to his Spring Breakers. I remember going, who is this A24? This label, this distributor knows how to release a film that is certainly going to grab your attention. But I look at A24, and I talk about test screenings all the time. Test screenings, in case you guys don't know, we've talked about it so many times. We'll do it again. Test screenings occur here in Los Angeles largely, certainly other cities, but LA is a big one. And you invite a random selection of people from all different demographics into your film, and they watch the raw version, or maybe it's nearly a finished version. And then afterwards, you fill out a questionnaire that talks about, did you like the film? Obviously, it's number one. Number two, did you like the pacing of the film? If you didn't, where would you do? Would you speed up the front, speed up the back, the middle? What would you do? Who did you like as the star? All of these questions are answered on a pamphlet. And here's why I tell you tonight, again, for the 100th time, and I'm saying it, and I mean it this time, F-U-A-24. All you got to do is bring me in to an empty screening room. Show me the movie, and I promise you, I will tell you exactly how the film is going to be received. If you would have done that, A24, with Beau is Afraid, I would have told you, first of all, the script, I would have said, we're never making this. Never making this. At this budget, there's no chance. We're not making Beau is Afraid at $35 million. I don't care if Ari Aster has 10 classic horror films, which he has one, and it's Hereditary. Midsummer's not classic. Hereditary is, I would suggest, maybe all time, one of the best for sure. When you look at Beau is Afraid and you watch that screening, you go, this is terrible. This is going to go down hard. Nobody's going to like this film. It's a film for nobody. Why are you bothering to bring in an audience of hundreds of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about? And you could just bring me in, sit me down, and I'll be like, here's what's up. And here's the thing I'm going to do that they don't do. I'm going to tell you the movie sucks. Who's this for? It's 3 hours long. You got to lose an hour. I'm going to tell you all these things, and yet you can't invite me to your fucking test screening. Why? Are you afraid to have your feelings hurt? I'm right, and you damn well know it. A24 execs know it. I'm dead on, and when I love your films, I love them. But when they're bad, you need somebody like me to come in there and savage this shit and try to save whatever is possibly able to be saved out of a film. Or we could just say it's Batgirl. Goodbye, get it out of here. Because this is what I told you. This is where I'm done with A24. Never going to another A24 event. I'm going to burn them down tonight because of the fact, and by the way, this is not ego speaking tonight. This is me and truth speaking. I am always right about this shit, and I could nail these things, but A24 doesn't have the fucking balls to invite me in to see a test screening. Here it is of Heretic. Look, this is the film I just got. Somehow I got on an email list. They didn't know. A24 did not know I got this. A24 is doing a test screening for Heretic. So I was going to say I want to go, right? Because I would be perfect for this. I would come in and say, sounds good, right? A horror thriller with Hugh Grant, little synopsis. They would say, get out of here. They know me. They'd be like, you can't come in. Why can't I come in, A24? Why are you bothering with these numbskulls that you invite to these screenings that literally you see some of these people wander off the street? Like, where do these people come from? They don't even know what they're talking about. Bring me in. I'll say, here's what you need to do. You need to cut this, cut that, squeeze it down. It's too long at 155. Bring it in at a tight 140. Lose that. Tighten this up. Change the score. Let's do this. Otherwise, I might come in. This is perfect. They won't do it, because they don't have the balls. Also, by the way, I forget. I always forget this, and this is my bad, guys. I always forget this because I don't fucking think this way. He's an old white guy. That's how they think. That's how losers at A24 think. He's an old white guy. Guess what? This old white guy knows more than 95% of the people in your company about films. Because when I watch this shit, I could help you. So screw you. If that's how you view people, this person is too old. This person's too white. This person's too this. You are a pathetic human being. So A24, done. Don't care. Sure, I'll see your movies. That's the beauty of what I do now. I don't need your permission to destroy your films, and I'll never seek your freaking approval. Doesn't matter. I would love to come in and destroy your films or say these films are great. You don't have the balls because I don't check boxes and because you don't want anyone's feelings hurt. And that's why Hollywood sucks. That's why. Because you guys don't have the balls to say the truth. You want everybody to be happy and feel good. You can't hurt anybody's feelings. Eric, you're so mean. How dare you? Exactly, Sparty Sensei. They want sycophants in there. They don't want me. They don't want somebody who says Beau is Afraid is going to bomb. Here's the reality, though. If I had gone into that movie and I had said, this is dead on arrival, you've got to cut this film down. You got to get it to 2 hours. I need so much of this film out. Let's go through this thing and let's start cutting. I'm talking, again, 1 hour. I'm not saying it would have been saved. I don't think there's any saving. But there are elements that we can extract and possibly create a version that would not suck as hard as Beau is Afraid. But they don't have the balls because that's what they want, Spidey Sensei. They want sycophants. They want people, you're so great. Everything's perfect. Because Weber's mean. No, Weber's real. Weber's right. That's the difference. Because these other people are too afraid to say this shit. Because they're afraid A24 won't invite me to the next movie. I can't see it 3 days early. I have to wait till Thursday night when it comes out, but I could see it on Monday. That's the level of film, quote, journalists that we have in this space. None of them Very few. Like 0.2% of the people in the film space have any fortitude. They value invites to events and to early screenings. I don't care. I don't even go to them anymore. I was going to go see that new Amy Winehouse movie. No, I'm not driving to Beverly Hills. Not doing it. I'll watch it in Burbank. And once you take that away from them, they can't control you. And here's the thing. I can do whatever I want, and that doesn't apply to almost 98% or more of the people in the space. They're afraid of losing access, and I don't give a shit about access anymore. It doesn't get you anywhere, and even if it did, it's still not worth it because I just want to watch a good film. Is that too much to ask? Is it too much to ask? So yeah, A24, whatever. I'm sure I'll love some films in the future, but you could use me. It's all good. I know I'm an older white guy. I'm an old white guy. I ripped old white guy who would detonate your films. But I know we can't because it's not the right. If I was younger and a different demographic and different skin color, you guys know that's the reality of the situation. And how sad is that? That as a society, we are going to say that this person is valued more than the other person because of the color of their skin. That's not how I was raised. I was never raised like that back in good old 1980s Gen X. We weren't raised to value people higher or lower based on their socioeconomic backgrounds, based on the color of their skin. I was raised, and I imagine anybody who grew up in my time frame, Gen X, was raised to value people. We didn't discuss race all day, says the white guy. Now, it's always got to be that. It's always got to be about that. Are you LBGTQ? Are you this? Who cares? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not how we pick things, but yes, it is nowadays. Sad, right? It's really, truly sad. I'm not even the anti-woke guy, but everything that I said is right. No, I would not give away my integrity for more football kits, but by the way, this is now my new favorite. It is Arsenal, number 1 in the EPL right now. They're 1 point ahead of Man City. Can they win the Premier League? We're going to find out over the next, 3-4 games. It's almost over. Simeon, I just joined the stream. Did you talk about Boy Meets World or Boy Kills World? I'd said it bombed at 841 million. We can talk about that later. I've got something that I want to talk about that really joins very nicely. Everything's flowing fairly well tonight. Plenty of rants, which is a good MMT for me. I always say, let's just try to tone it down. And then boom, I just lose it because it's typical, because it's frustrating. It's not anger per se, like, oh, I hate all this. It's more frustration with the executives in Hollywood who are more involved with not getting feelings hurt, or not having someone check a box, which is pathetic, really pathetic. Let's talk about director's jail, because this is a great article from THR that they wrote this week talking about now it's easier than ever to get into director's jail. What is director's jail? That's if you make a film that's bad, you're in trouble. And what I love, I needed a break. I really should have taken a break before I go on this next rant, because I was going to just give me a second. Here we go. Who do you think they quote for the beginning of the director's jail article if you've not written it? It's not Ari Aster. I'll give you guys, it's not Ari Aster. It's certainly, unfortunately, not Yorgos Lanthimos, which should have been. All that movie somehow wins Oscars and makes all the money. God, I hate poor things. Nope. It is correct. The D to the C. Damien Chazelle. I have no illusions, the Oscar-winning director Damien Chazelle said on a podcast in March. I won't get the budget of Babylon anytime soon, or at least not on the next one. Nor should you, Damien Chazelle. Babylon is the perfect example of a film that if you had invited me in to see before you debuted it in Beverly Hills the night I was there, probably the last time I ever went to a movie, because I destroyed that film and everyone came after me. Paramount came after me after that. The PR company was like, holy shit, because I said it was horrifically bad. And I think, honestly, I will say, Here's what I will say too. You guys know, I don't think there's a lot of people in the space that when they issue a proclamation about something, people go, "Holy shit, that's savage." And also it carries some weight because I don't go all in on something unless I really feel it. It's never an agenda, it's a reaction to the film. You look at Challengers, it came out and said, "This is cinema. My God, I love this film." When I came out of Babylon, I go, "This is, oh my God, guys, this is truly his worst film." And it is, as I called it, I know, cliche, but truly a flamey dumpster fire of a script that's tonally a disaster. Complete tonal disaster of a film. I would have watched that test screening of Damien Chazelle's Babylon and said, "Oh, we are so fucked. This is terrible." Guys, I wouldn't even hold back. I don't care who's in the room. I don't care if Chazelle's next to me. Because that's the thing. You can't be, you have to say, it's not, listen, Damien, first of all, can I preface everything I'm about to say with Whiplash, maybe one of the best films of the 2010s. I think Family Man, directorial effort is better than a screenplay, but you are a talented director. This is shit. I mean, dude, this is terrible. I don't know what you were trying. I know what you're trying to do here, but it is truly only two great scenes wrapped around a dog shit screenplay everywhere. And I will say again, and I said so many times before, if you recommend Babylon, like the most overrated film voice in the history of cinema, not just now, I would suggest to you ever, forget Rex Reed, forget any critic that was, big time, that got a whole bunch of shit for being a critic. Rex Reed obviously comes to mind because everyone goes, "Oh, Rex Reed is too hard." Sean Fennessy, and I've said this so many times, there is no person in the film Twitter space who has a bigger audience, who is less deserving of that audience than Sean Fennessy. I would suggest to you, this man doesn't even know what constitutes a quality film. I don't care if he can recite every single historical aspect of cinema. As a film evaluator, Sean Fennessy might be the worst in the history of film. That is how bad he is. And when he talks about a Babylon, go Babylon Hive. Fennessy, you look like an idiot. Okay, that's the first thing. You look like an idiot. There's no question about that. No, I don't know physically. I've never met him, I'm sure. But here's the I wouldn't go there. I said I wouldn't. But when you recommend a Babylon and you say it's one of the best films of the year, and you're like, Babylon Hive, the credibility is not just gone for a while. It is eradicated. It's over. It's done. I understand that you're going to come and say, "Oh, well, look at Sean Fennessy's audience. Look at him. I don't think he cares." I don't care that he doesn't care. I'm telling you, what I'm saying is reality. That guy is the most overrated for value versus what he brings to the table and what he actually has talent-wise in the entire industry. There has never been someone as embarrassingly overmatched with audience versus talent. Nobody. And going back to Babylon, sorry, I don't care. Send him the video. I don't give a shit. Fennessy, bring it. Dude, you're terrible. You write terribly. Everything about you is like, I look and I go, there's so many times in life I watch something or I read something and I go, how did this person, and every time I read something from him or I listen to a take, I go, how does this person have one of the biggest podcasts and know quite literally nothing about what constitutes a great film? I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And I think the other thing that guy doesn't have, back to Director Joe in a minute, is that he's not particularly old. I think he's like in his 30s, 40s. You got to, listen, let's be honest with each other. You have to have some experience. You have to be around. You have to have lived things. You can't live things through reading it. You have to live through them. And I only go back so far. I mean, I'm not like, I didn't experience movies in the 50s, 40s, 30s. Okay. I'm not Leonard Maltin. Like, that man, hooray. But Fennessy's like not even old enough to remember Gen X things. He doesn't appreciate a movie like War Games. I mean, that's the thing. He has no sense of history other than like being raised on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. This is not a good situation. So, yeah, I'm right. I don't care. Bring it. Bring all the Fennessy Hive. Bring it. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. I won't lose an ounce of sleep tonight. Back to Director's Shill. Some of these directors earn this shit. And Damien Chazelle, you earned it. It's a terrible film. Babylon, aside from those two scenes, Margot Robbie first talkie, and of course Brad Pitt saying it's over when Gene Smart says it's done. Those two, right? That's it. Everything else, like Pitt killing himself, terrible. This movie, tonally, I can't even believe how bad it is. You belong in director's jail. You can't be entrusted with a movie that loses that much. I'm not even talking, by the way, did I even talk about the money? Did I even talk about all the money he lost, Paramount? No. We're not talking about, we're talking about how shitty that film is. That film, you've got to know better. And that's the thing. If I am an executive and I give a movie to Damien Chazelle, I'm giving it to the Whiplash Damien Chazelle, not the Babylon one. Holy shit. If it was the Babylon Damien Chazelle, I wouldn't give him a penny. I said, we're not making another movie. Same with Ari Aster. After I watch Beau is Afraid, you're not even going to get another movie. I can't trust you. You need to make another film and come back to me, right? It's like you get canceled. As far as I'm concerned, Chazelle's canceled. Ari Aster's canceled. Outside of executive producing, he's done some nice job with Dream Scenario and Sasquatch Sunset. He's a better executive producer than he certainly is a writer when you look at Beau is Afraid. But you belong in director's jail, and you don't get out of it until you make something good again. So both those guys belong in director's jail. No question about it. I mean, for me, it would certainly be Yorgos as well. But obviously the money gets him out of jail. But when you look at the two films I talked about, Babylon lost them a ton, right? Paramount. And then Beau is Afraid lost A24 tens of millions. So when you lose the money and you make a terrible film, then that's one thing. When you have Yorgos and you make a film that is truly distasteful and ugly and everything I hate about, I can't stand it. You guys know that. I'm not going to get into it again. I'll get angry. He made money, so he's allowed to make the next one, right? And hopefully the next one won't be nearly as horrifically unwatchable and unappealing as Poor Things, a movie where, remember, one more time, you have a woman with a baby brain having sex. Nothing creepy about that. Nothing. There's no, she ages quick. No, nothing creepy. Because that's the funny thing is, anybody else, I don't know what happened with that film. I'll never understand it, but there's people out there that are making excuses for it, and I'm just telling you, it doesn't make you look good. It's a really bad look. It's really bad. It's one thing to, say Civil War is great. There's nothing, it's terrible. But saying Poor Things, there's nothing offensive about it, says a lot about you. Like, a lot. Like, things that I wouldn't admit openly. I would keep that quiet. I would definitely never tell anybody. Let's talk about Ryan Gosling. This show's weird, isn't it? It's just a weird show. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll come back to comments, by the way, throughout. I promise you guys, I will come back. I'm just going to try to shove through as many topics as possible. Okay, I was going to go with Gosling's puffy face. I'm going to hold on that because we have something that I think is bigger. And are you guys ready for this? This is exciting. There's going to be no homework for Deadpool and Wolverine. Why is that important? We talk about it all the time with these CBMs. I don't want to have to watch all your Disney Plus bullshit shows to watch a movie. So it looks like Sean Levy is saying you don't have to have any prior knowledge of the MCU to enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine. I was a good student in school. I'll do my homework as an adult, but I am definitely not looking to do homework when I go to the movies. Levy watches this channel. There's no question that he watches this channel because we said these exact words. When any Marvel film comes around, this is exactly what we say here on MMT. I don't want to do homework, and the audiences don't either. We just want to go to a movie. We want to have fun. I don't want to have all this knowledge from other shows because it's too complex, and I don't care. I don't live for comic book movies. By the way, our Shill of the Century is coming up next. It's tied right in here to Deadpool and Wolverine. I'll give you a hint. Come into the comments and tell me who you think the Shill of the Century is. You guys will nail it. There's no question. But good for Levy. Good for making this thing that is going to, as he says here, it has a healthy respect and gratitude towards the Rabbit fan base and a peak fluency in the mythology and lore of the characters in the world, but it's built for entertainment with no obligation to come prepared with prior research. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. So kudos to Sean Levy and to Ryan Reynolds, who I know Ryan Reynolds, no question, is very involved with these films. That's why he has Sean Levy. That's why he's had different directors on all the Deadpool films, because I think he needs to work with a director who's going to allow him, Ryan Reynolds, to kind of call some shots. Listen, Ryan Reynolds is an actor who has very good instincts as a director. I think he'd be a great director because he's been on sets. He knows what works. Look at what he does. Everything in that guy's life has been successful, right? He buys Wrexham. Boom. They're going up to League One next year. That's insane to go from National League to League One in 2 seasons, 1-2 promotions, almost unheard of. It's happened, but it's rare. You look at Mint Mobile, you look at Aviation Gin, all these things. All these companies created, they're all successful. That man's a good businessman. He knows what works. So he's going to get a director in there that is going to be able to listen to him and say, here's what we need to do. Clearly, he got the right message across to Sean Levy, who clearly listened to Ryan Reynolds and hopefully Hugh Jackman as well. Jackman knows a thing or two about entertaining film. I will always defend The Greatest Showman. Love that film. What a perfect film for what it is. I don't care if it's not P.T. Barnum's Perfect Life. Don't give a shit. I'm watching a movie. I want to have fun, okay? Mint Mobile, the movie, maybe. But when you look at Deadpool and Wolverine, we don't want to have all this homework. And we don't have to. That's the good news. You guys ready? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for, it's not John Campea. It's a good guess, though. It's a really good guess. I don't watch Campea. I don't know. I know he said some things about me. Campea, you suck. Dude, I will destroy you in a live stream. I would destroy Campea 8 ways from Sunday. It would literally be a boxing match with one punch. I don't care if Campea has 10,000, 100,000, a million more views, subscribers. I don't care. When it goes head-to-head in a ring, Campea, I will gut you. It won't even be a contest, and you guys know it. So I don't care. That's the beauty of it. I don't give a shit. Guess who our shill of the century is? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to do this. I'm probably going to lose my shit in a second. This is quite possibly the most annoying person that I've ever watched. And the fact we talked earlier about Sean Fennessy, somebody has this big of an audience is absolutely horrifying to me. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to our boy. Definitely not my boy. Probably your boy. It is Supes.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
They stole my line. Let's fucking go.
Guys, I don't even know what to say. I can tell you this. He might be the most embarrassing human being in the history of planet Earth. This guy just said, they stole my line, LFG, as if he copyrighted LFG. This guy who wears a shirt that says his name on it. Guys, I don't have a shirt that says Weber. I wear football kits. This guy wears a shirt with his name. Let's listen to another. This guy is the biggest tool in the history of tools. That's such an 80s thing, right? Let's watch him. Let's watch him again.
The slaves! The slaves!
What is he screaming about? What is he so excited about? This guy is truly the cringiest human being ever to grace the face of planet Earth. But yet, this man has an audience. You all watch Supes. You love this guy. And yet we struggle to get the numbers that the Riddler did in The Batman. We can't even get that many people to watch. But this guy can get all kinds of people to watch. Schlacker, dude, his target audience has got to be little kids. He's terrible. Dude, this is unwatchable. If this were me, I would be embarrassed for myself. I would have firsthand embarrassment of watching me. Don't get me wrong. I've gone off on the show, but I've never done this shit. I get angry. This guy what the hell who watches this guy? This is why I want to retire. Can I say that? This is why did he say like a prayer? Let's listen to that one more time. Maybe that's what it was. Hold on.
The slaves!
What'd he say? What's he? I don't.
The slaves!
The safes? The safes? What's he saying? I don't even know. Guys, what's he saying there? Let's listen to it a couple more times. Someone tell me what he's saying. One more time.
The slaves!
The safes? Why is he the slaves? What's he saying? This guy, he makes me sad for him. Like, I just the slave is that an MCU thing? The slaves? Oh, the sleeves? Is that what he's saying? The sleeves, that he's sleeveless? I look as good as Wolverine sleeveless.
The sleeves! The sleeves!
This guy's so bad. He's saying the sleeves. Maybe it is disease. What is it? The sleeves of the jersey? Why are you so excited about the sleeve? It's crazy. Caramel. Seriously, think about that. If your whole life is that, like, you're that excited to see a character in a movie with no sleeves or the way that it's presented, it's just weird. I'll never understand nerd culture as well as maybe some. I'm not going to call you guys nerds. We can't lose any more viewers. We're already the Riddler's channel and the Batman. What was the name of his channel? I should just change the whole thing to that. Well, I know it was a serial killer thing, which is, again, had more viewers than we do. But Supes has an audience. I don't want to do this anymore if this kid has a bigger audience than us, which means I can't do the show anymore. Guys, I mean, I can't. How can I wake up? I talk about not losing sleep all the time. How can I sleep well tonight knowing this guy, the most embarrassing tool of a human being that's ever graced planet Earth, has a much larger audience than our Riddler from the Batman presentation here on MMT? How am I supposed to sleep tonight? I'm not going to sleep at all. I'm going to have to take some serious narcotics, which I don't, but I will tonight, to sleep, because this kid is successful. This kid's making money. I mean, that's not why we started the channel, but it makes me sick that this guy is making a living doing this. He's making good money, and we're here doing the Riddler Batman. Oh, my God. You can understand why that's kind of disheartening, right? You can understand why I'm losing confidence. I don't care. I just don't want to see that. How is that guy, right? How is Sean Fantasy, Supes? I mean, they're close, right? I mean, they're both not very good. Supes is totally embarrassing. Fantasy's just bad. But you know, I mean, I know I'm the first person ever compared to. Terrible at what he does, annoying at what he does. I mean, if you want to be entertained and laugh at somebody, then that's Supes. He looks like it's good. I should get a football. You know what? I always said this. If I need to make more money doing this. I'm not kidding you guys. If I made enough money doing the YouTube channel, even if I just made enough to do it, I would sponsor a team and I would put the MMT logo on a team in England in like the National League South, which for those of you who don't know soccer, there's Premier League, there's Championship, there's League One, League Two, National League North, South. They're basically the same. That's how low I'd have to go to afford a logo on the team, but I would wear that jersey around, but I would sponsor the team. So I'd spend all the money I made on the channel for sponsoring the football team in England. So I couldn't buy a team like Ryan Reynolds did with Wrexham. I would just sponsor a really small team like Chorley or Chelmsford Town or Accrington. I would sponsor some random team that was so low that would cost maybe $10,000 to put my logo on the team, and then I would just constantly wear the jersey around. But see, that's the difference between Supes makes that money. He could have some team sponsor him with the Supes logo. If anyone gives him this idea, I swear to God, I'll find you and I will gut you alive. This is my idea, and I will do it once we surpass $10,000. I'm going to call up every single team in the National League North and South and see who will take my offer for, at the very least, a sleeve sponsor. Do you guys see here? So look, this is Arsenal. Arsenal has Visit Rwanda on the side, right? I would put an MMT logo on the sleeve of a National League South team, and it would say MMT, and it would look badass, and it would be a decal, and at the very least, we could get it on the sleeve. I bet you for $10,000 we could do it. I'll bet you we could do it. And I would, honestly, I'd take all the money that we raised. It's like a crowdfunding. That's what I think I'll do. I've never done a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe will be to raise money to sponsor a football team in England on the sleeve. This is why we do what we do. It's so weird. This show, no one would ever even think to come together anyway to arrange what I just said into something that makes no sense, but yet makes total sense. That's MMT. We could, Ricardo, we totally could. We could totally get it done. I need help. But here's the thing, you would see where the money went. It wouldn't even be it wouldn't be to pad me in my place or a new thing. It would be on the sleeve of the team. So we would constantly be checking on, let me just check real quickly. Let me look at the National League. I'll show you. Let's pick a team. National League North standings. Here we go. You guys ready? Here it is. You guys ready? You don't even know what I'm talking about, but you got to trust me. This is so far down the table. If Ryan Reynolds is watching, remember he does follow me on Twitter. Okay, he would know that we're really down here. So, okay, here we go. Let's just pick a team. We've got Tamworth, Scunthorpe United, Brackleytown, Chorley, Alfredtown, Boston United. I like Boston United a lot because I lived in Boston. I feel like Boston United might be our opportunity. Curzon Ashton, South Shields, Spennymoor Town, Chester FC. I have a Chester FC jersey. In fact, I'll wear it next week. Warrington Town. We can get one of these teams. Kingsland Town. Look, they're terrible. They're at the bottom of the National League North. Bishop Stortford. If Bishop Stortford will take our money, we can put a MMT logo on their sleeve. Can we do this? Can we get this done? I'm telling you guys, I will do it, and we'll put the MMT logo on the jersey. And then, here's the thing. Then we'll all buy jerseys from the team, or I'll just get a whole bunch of them sent to us, because when you sponsor them, then I'll send them out to you guys, and then that's what you'll pay for. You'll pay for the jersey with the MMT logo on the sleeve, like you see the Visit Rwanda. I mean, we could do it. Okay, I will think about it. I will think. Honestly, no, it's all. Listen, I'm here to help. People hate on me for recommending stuff on their channel, and I'm. Oh, you're talking about Supes? No, Ryan Reynolds, I don't know if he'll help us. But we can do this, guys. I think we can. This is forget the rest of the stream. This is the most urgent and pressing thing from tonight's stream. We must sleeve sponsor a tiny team in England. We can do it. I bet you we could do it for 10K. I'll bet you we could do it for 5. If we found the right team, we could get one of the teams to show. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna run. Okay, so look here's Visit Rwanda. Hold on, let me go get a different one out of the closet. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get a different sleeve sponsor to show you what I'm talking about. You can see it right there. Hold on. Okay, I'm going over here. Give me 1 second. I gotta find a team. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going through the closet. Give me a minute. I'm in the closet. Okay. All right, here we go. So I told you, I have, no joke, I have like 100 kits. It's absurd how many I have. This is one of my favorites. I wore it last week when I went to see Challengers. So here it is. So this is Norwich City. So look, okay, so here's the Norwich City jersey. I got the light on now, so it looks all weird. Check this out. Okay, so do you see this here? Okay, that's the league. So this is championship, right? There's the championship patch. But on the other sleeve here, this is where we would put the MMT logo. Here it says Gran Canaria. So we would put the MMT logo on the sleeve. This is too big a team. This is Norwich. Norwich is too big of a team. I love this. Is this jersey not badass? This is the best football kit I've ever seen. I mean, this thing is amazeballs. We can do it, guys. We can put MMT right there, just like that, on a random team. Guys, just give me a thumbs up if you want to help. I think we can do it, and it'd be the funniest thing ever, because the English team, you're like, who the hell and what the hell is MMT? And that's, I got to put it hanging up here. That would be amazing. That would be, the lights are all kinds of weird because I turned on the other light. So it's like got extra light here tonight. All right, couple more. You guys good? Do you want to do? I did say I'm in the closet. I did say it. Speaking of the MT logo, you currently have 2. I know. Well, the one I put on the sleeve, that's a good question. I think if we took this one, we would get sued by Warner Brothers, right? Because they'd be like, that's the Batman. This one is created, so I think we're good with that one. But I'm telling you guys, we can do this 100%. It should be a safe space for people to share their controversial film opinions. Maybe try to conduct some more interviews. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I would love to. The problem is I've kind of alienated everybody because I trash so many movies and directors and things. But I would love to have someone come on and I just ask them point blank. But the thing is, I think the more conversations we have where people are, unafraid to say things about a film, about Hollywood, then maybe we get something done. I think the real power comes from you speaking your experience and not having fear of reprisals. You're like, I don't care what they say. I'm going to still do it. And that's the key. Listen, I'll get an email for the channel once we raise enough money to have a sleeve sponsor. Okay. All right. Real quickly, a couple more things and we're going to get out of here. Ryan Gosling has a puffy face. If you guys, I know, the weirdest show. Welcome to the show if you've never watched. Let's find it. It's from Daily Mail. You guys know I love Daily Mail. I don't hide that. I'm going to admit to you that I really enjoy this site. Here we go. What has happened to Ryan Gosling's face? From Tom Cruise to Zac Efron, Carolyn Bullock explains too many Hollywood hunks that now have chipmunk cheeks rather than chiseled face. All right, here we go. Let's look at some pictures. Look here. Okay, first of all, there's Gosling from, I don't know, like probably Drive, right around there. Okay, so that's Gosling's face. Now, let's go and look at Gosling as he promotes The Fall Guy. And what you're going to notice, pay attention to his cheeks and around his eyes. Listen, obviously, I don't use the fillers. If I did, I wouldn't have wrinkles. I would be like this, right? But hey, guys, I don't do that. I'm naturally just getting old. It is what it is. As I go over here, though, look, do you guys not see that? It's not like she's making this shit up. Gosling's face is like he got stung by a bee. He's getting injections of fillers. That's what Hollywood does. They get fillers in their face. And he's doing it. You know who else has done it? Zac Efron did something weird to his chin. So let's look. So there he is. You can see the cheeks, right? Look how puffy they are. Do you see? It looks like his cheeks right here are puffed. He's getting some kind of injection. He's still a very good-looking guy, but now he's in his 40s, and he probably still wants to look young. Dude, just age gracefully. It's fine that you're 42, 43, whatever. No one cares. I mean, I'm no longer 28. It is what it is, man. But I know it's Hollywood, but the author here talks about how Steve McQueen he had lines on his face. Harrison Ford. Imagine if he had his eyes frozen and alarmed instead of sultry and knowing. He didn't do that shit. Here's Tom Cruise. Look, what's his puffy face? It's the fillers, right? Same thing for Tom Cruise. Then we go down and we look at Zac Efron. Zac Efron did something to his chin. He used to have a pointed chin. Now he's got this like caveman-y Neanderthal look, right? By the way, there's the code of the channel, of the page. When you look, right? We've all talked about how Zac Efron's face is a little weird. They're all getting these injections and these fillers. But, back to Gosling, it's right there. You can't miss it. I don't want to sign up for the thing. Please just go away here. All right, here we go. Look, do you guys see it? Just real quickly, do you or do you not see that he has fillers in his face? I know Erick's being mean again. Looking like Norm Macdonald. Oh, my God. Too much adrenaline can give you a puffy face. Thinking of film, no way. Yeah, no, I don't think he's an alcoholic. There's legitimately fillers. That's what she's talking about. Fillers. You guys have seen, like, who's that Cat Lady, right? You guys ever see Cat Lady? Hold on, let me show you Cat Lady. You've never seen Cat Lady? Holy shit. This is a woman who she got all this shit done to her face. And hold on, Cat Lady face. I got to put in here. She looks like a cat. Remember Meg Ryan? Meg Ryan did that shit. You're like, what are you doing, Meg Ryan? Okay, here's Catwoman. Look, it's the same kind of thing. Ryan Gosling better watch it. He's morphing into Catwoman. Look at the face. It's a bunch of fillers. It's like their face is puffed up. She went nuts with it. These people, there's a guy at my gym. He's had his eyes done. You guys seen this shit when you got an old guy and he's like this, his eyes are pulled back? Like, look, let me see, pull it back a little bit. He's like this. I'm not, by the way, I'm not, what I'm doing here. He's got an eye lift. So he's like this. His eyes are like, and I'm like, dude, you look like a creep. You freaky. These Hollywood stars don't know not just enough. Like Gosling, you're getting older. No big deal, man. Don't worry about it. You don't need to get injections in your face. You're going to look like Catwoman. And Catwoman isn't good looking. Catwoman looks scary. Meg Ryan looks scary. She got trout mouth. Oh, Weber's being mean. It's true. Ryan Gosling's face is too puffy. Ryan, if you're watching, and I know they do, the agents watch, the stars watch, they listen. We might not have the views and subscribers. The views we have are from very important people in this town because they go, Weber is ruthless. Weber tells you what it is. And I'm acting as your friend here, Ryan Gosling, because we've spoken on multiple occasions at different events, and I'm sure you remember me. You need to stop doing injections to your face. Is that fair? I know it's mean, but it's true. It's weird. People, here's the thing is that, truth be told, you get older, and the reality is you kind of go, oh man, I've got wrinkles. I've got like sunspots on my face. And the hair is not as good as it used to be. The fact I still have hair is a win for me, right? I don't even care. The fact that I don't have to wear a baseball hat like Kevin Feige is a win for me. Oh God, there goes Kevin Feige. But you see, is when you get older, you just age gracefully. I think guys actually look better as they get older. I'm saying that as I get older because, of course, I want to say that, but I do believe that too. And I think women need to learn that too. Don't do so much work on your face. Look at Sandra Bullock. It's like, man, lay off. Jennifer Aniston, whoa. They have a lot of work done, and then they also have the work done in the film where the face is like has no wrinkles. Go back and watch Lost City. Go look at Jennifer Aniston. She has an ad with What's His Ass from Friends, and they're on the Warner Brothers lot. Her face is like digitized. You're like, what? That's not even a real face. Jennifer, you're still beautiful at 55, I believe. You're still great. I saw her at the party. She looks amazing. I mean, I was at the Apple party 2 years ago when they actually invited me to things. Well, it's not my fault. They still invite me to things occasionally, but I used to go and be excited, like, oh, I'm here. Look, I'm at the Apple. And then you get over it and you go, I don't care. These people aren't that special. I'd rather just talk about the films and then savage things and not have to worry about hurting someone's feelings. That way, if I ever run into them, it'll just be by accident. It won't be in an event where they're like, wherever you got to go. And I'm like, fine, I don't even want to be here in the first place. So why did I come? Helen Mirren does look good. Like I'm sure she's done a little bit of work, but it's not excessive. The key is, I get it. You want to do a little bit, get rid of some crow's feet, whatever it is. Just get a little bit. So I think when you look at Gosling, it's fair to say his face is a little puffy, right? Nicole Kidman, no question about it. Nicole Kidman is doing too much. It's getting to be creepy. Remember, what's her name from Scream 6? God, terrible. But her face. Okay, and I didn't say terrible face. I'm saying the movie. When she's in that movie, you look at her and you're like, Courtney Cox, what'd you do to yourself? It's kind of weird, right? You look and you go, ooh, that's not a good look. It just doesn't look natural. It's too puffy and artificial. Okay, I want to show you here. Hold on, let me find it. I've got a video of Morgan Freeman talking about doing his own AMC ad. I wanted to show that before we leave here tonight. And then I'll answer some questions and we'll get out of here. Did I even save it? Nah, shit. I don't think I saved it. Damn it. I don't have it. Anyhow, it was Morgan Freeman doing a joke on the AMC ad. All right, let's do open comments. Oh, real quickly, I do want to get to one more thing, and then we'll do open comments. I need you guys to watch a movie. If you haven't watched this, you need to do it. And why are we talking about it? Because we learned some more about the sequel to 28 Days Later this week. Listen, people talk about 28 Days Later forever, right? It's maybe the quintessential zombie movie. I feel like 28 Weeks Later does not get nearly the respect that it should. By the way, Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to be in the film. So that kid's on fire right now. After he was in Bullet Train, Hollywood's like, we love this guy. Kraven the Hunter got pushed to December, so it's an awards film very clearly. And you look at, that guy, buy some stock in him. But you look at 28 Weeks Later. I love that film. It's a great zombie movie. Remember, we talked about that film so often here. You go back, you look at Rose Byrne's in that thing, Idris Elba, and Jeremy Renner. You got three up-and-coming, soon-to-be big-time names in that film, and it's very well directed. The director from that, I looked after that. He didn't do a whole lot of things after that. I'm shocked. This is what I'd love to do in Hollywood. I would get that director and say, you're going to be on my next film. This is a very well-directed film. Great zombie movie, great action film, good scope on that film as far as going from days, right, to weeks, and London rebuilding it. I love 28 Weeks Later. It is our MMT must-see of the week. So we have a shill of the week, shill of the century, and we have our must-see. It's a good Sunday night here on MMT. MMT reputation should be. Yeah, I agree. I know we've talked about this film before. And I sometimes forget about doing these MMT must sees, but now that we're only doing really much, pretty much a once a week. Listen, we're going to do one on Wednesday for Fall Guy, but that's only Fall Guy. I don't really want to talk about anything else. I want to make the stream like 20 minutes of all Fall Guy, just like we did with Challengers. And then so these shows are going to be more about getting sleeve sponsors in the National League South. We're almost there. Aaron Taylor Johnson is a good-looking dude, first of all. Very good-looking, very good shape, great physique, and he's got a swagger. I mean, that guy, remember that line from Moneyball? That guy walks in the room and his dick's already been there for 5 minutes. That is Aaron Taylor Johnson. That guy's a stud. That guy, I know he's married to an older woman, but if that guy were single, that guy would be getting some ass. I mean, like crazy. He's a young, good-looking dude, British accent. Come on, man. He's British, right? Yeah. I mean, he's like, I'd fall for the guy. If's going to be solid. I think it's going to do really well. I think it does maybe 45, 50. It's a family film. We need more films like that. It's got Ryan Reynolds. I think that film is going to be a big time outperform. I think when we look at Fall Guy next weekend, we're looking at the same thing. Only open to about $9 million overseas, 50-some markets over the past week. Actually, Fall Guy was just this weekend. So it's not, listen, I think Fall Guy is going to get to 40 plus. It'll be bigger than Lost City. It's going to depend on word of mouth. I believe word of mouth is going to be very strong. I'm going to like that film. I know it. If I come on this stream on Wednesday and dislike Fall Guy, there's a problem. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you show me what you've shown me in the trailers, you show me who's in the movie, you show me David Leitch directing, if I come out of Fall Guy and do not like that film, we're going to have a problem. Like, we need to have a discussion about how something went terribly wrong. I don't know what. I don't know. We'll find out what it is, if I love it or not, on Wednesday night. Couple more comments and we're out of here. Talk to Me is not a bad film. I didn't hate it. You should be jealous of him, Steve. He's a good-looking dude. Nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, no, seriously. I say this all the time. I should post lots of shirtless pictures or, gym pictures. It's not about, I mean this so often. I really do. It's not about, oh, how great I am. It's about you getting motivated to get out there. I talked about this earlier with my mom, and I'll talk to you guys about it before we leave. I believe that our purpose on life here on planet Earth is to live life, to get out, to experience the world, to get out there, make connections, meet people, go see things, do stuff. Today, I went down, played beach volleyball with my guys, came back up, chilled out, had a nice, relaxing car ride up and back from Orange County, listening to old countdown shows on Mixcloud, and just enjoying life, getting out there and getting away from Twitter, getting away from negativity. Sure, we get negative here, we get nasty, we get ruthless, but I believe that you are going to be best served in this world if you get out there and you do it and you use things as motivation. So if you see somebody and you respect what they do, not Supes, not Supes, anybody but Supes. But you need to get out there and go for it and do it. And honestly, the success comes from you doing it. It doesn't come from it being successful. It derives strictly from you actually doing it. When I started this channel 2+ years ago, it's been, my God, it's over 2 years. I didn't care that we grew, we had views, none of that stuff. All that mattered to me was I did it. And when I sat here the other day, I told you guys this story the other day. I came in, I looked over in the corner where I am here, corner, and I've got it all set up. And I said, you know what, Eric? Good job. I don't care if it gets views. I don't care if I get subscribers. I care that I did it. And if you take that approach in life, you'll be successful. And you'll know it. You don't need to prove it to anybody. You'll be successful. Don't worry about other people. You worry about you and satiating yourself. Anytime I can use satiate, we're going to use it. That's it for tonight. Let's make it happen, guys. I feel like I'm hawking something on the Home Shopping Network, QVC. Ladies and gentlemen, we can be right here. The MMT patch on a jersey. I think we need to raise at least $5,000. I am going to, and I'm telling you, you'll know it because it'll be on the team sleeve. So you'll know where your money's going. It's not going to go for more kits for me, like this awesome Norwich kit. it's going to go for being on a sleeve sponsor with the MMT and a tiny little team in England. And then I can actually go after Ryan Reynolds and say, you might own a team, but we have a sleeve patch in your face, bro. We got you. Trump card over. That's what's going to happen. Or we could maybe get the back of the jersey. Do you guys see that? Sakura. We could put an MMT logo right near the player's ass. That would actually be maybe better. We should look into either a back logo. Sometimes they have them up here, down here, or on the sleeve. The front, this is going to cost more. The Lotus is going to cost too much. We can't do this. This means I have to win the lottery, and I'll do it. But if we really did well on this, I would put Awards Ace on the front and then MMT on the sleeve. Can you? That's my goal in life. Not being rich, not being successful. It's having a football kit with Awards Ace and MMT on the sleeve, or reverse, MMT here and Awards Ace here. That would be, I've made it. These are the things in life you have to look to make you happy, and this is something that makes me happy. Find your thing that makes you happy. Thanks for being here. As always, guys, I'll see you Wednesday night. The Fall Guy. I'm going to like it. I know I will. If I don't, watch out. It's going to be bad here on Wednesday. I don't want to do it, but I'll probably have to if I don't like it. See you Wednesday. Peace out. Live from LA. I'm